Swansea have got a free kick. First attacking action of the second half. Jonathan de Guzman is standing over it. It's wide on the right hand side, level with the corner angle of the penalty area. He's got 5 white jerseys to aim for. Everton have got 10 behind the ball. Oh, it's well whipped in. Jagielka heads it away on the edge of the 6-yard box, and then the clearance is continued by Oviedo from the edge of the penalty area. That was a good delivery from de Guzman. But such has been the pattern of the game. Good build-up, no one there to actually put the finishing touch.
No, and he put it into a fantastic area, right into the heart of that 6-yard box, where it was too far out, too much whip on the ball for Tim Howard to come for it, but ended up on Everton head.
So 0-0. A reminder of the teams. Gerhard Tremmel is in goal for Swansea. Vaughan had surgery on Thursday, expected to be out for some weeks. Back 4 of Tiandali on the right, Ben Davis on the left, Chico Flores and Ashley Williams in the centre. Then in midfield, Jose Cañas and de Guzman in holding positions. John Joe Shelby pushing forward. Routledge has been on the left. Pablo Hernandez on the right, but those two have swapped. And Wilfred Boney, the striker, to the centre. Didn't get too many clear-cut opportunities. One shot that he did have went high over the crossbar. He was a little bit off balance. The Everton team in just a moment, but Swansea are on the attack. Pablo Hernandez pass intercepted by Stephen Pienaar. Everton don't fully complete the clearance though, and de Guzman has a chance to come down the right hand side. Very good tackling back from Oviedo.
A bit impressed with Oviedo today, especially when he's getting back. Not too impressed going forward, but defensively aggressive, quick, gets back, and he's made some really good tackles today.
Well, you know, it's an injustice really. I mean, presuming Leighton Baines comes back on Boxing Day, and brilliant player that he is, goes in the team.
Yeah.
It's a real shame that Brian Oviedo would have to miss. I mean, could he play somewhere else?
Well, it's a great option to have, isn't it? I think when you've got 2 top-class left-backs like that, as you say, Baines will come back in because he's the better of the both. But, you know, you look at Pienaar, you know, can Oviedo go further up the pitch and play further up the field? Quite possibly, but it's great for Roberto Martinez to have, you know, different types of options, isn't it?
And it's certainly been, in recent years, a rarity for Everton for that to be the case. I mean, David Moyes always operated on a very good starting 11, and, you know, if they're all fit, they do well,
yeah.
And maybe patchy once you get down through the squad.
Well, what top clubs need, and Everton are a top club, and if they are going to push into them European places, I'm talking 4th, 5th, 6th, then managers will tell you they need 2 players for every position.
Yeah.
I'm sure the chairman are too happy about it, but managers will tell you that's what they need.
I think you see Manchester City this season, and they are the one squad that really does have 2 top players in every position.
That's what they say.
Them.
Yeah, that's what Mourinho. I've heard Mourinho say that several times. Everton in.
And a cross from the right hand side from Coleman, well defended by Chico Flores. Coleman really put on the afterburners there to get in the crossing position. And Gareth Barry is now slotted in at right back, but Swansea have a counter-attack. 4 on 3. Shelby making up good ground, picks up the pass to Hernandez. Oh, he left the ball behind him. Recovers, but he showed too much of it to Oviedo, and that is going to go out for a corner. What a chance for Swansea. Shelby on the counter-attack, and if Hernandez had just slightly better control.
Yeah, well, Shelby had 3 or 4 different options, and for me, he just chooses the wrong one.
Yeah.
You know, he had Boney one side of him, Routledge trying to make up ground, and he gave it to Pablo Hernandez. I think he was marked at the time, so he had 3 or 4 options, and not like Shelby, because he's nobody good there.
So de Guzman has placed the ball for the corner, right hand side for Swansea. Give me a full run down the Everton team in just a moment. Just realised we forgot to complete that. De Guzman plays it in low, and an attempted back heel from Chico Flores goes out wide. So the Everton team, Tim Howard the goalkeeper, back 4, Seamus Coleman, Phil Jagielka, Sylvain Distin and Brian Oviedo. In midfield, Gareth Barry and James McCarthy in central locations. Ross Barkley pushing forward with a new shaven haircut. Kevin Morales and Stephen Pienaar on the flanks, and Romelu Lukaku on loan from Chelsea up front. He's been the spearhead. He's done a lot of holding up play, link play. He's not given too many opportunities. Only here is offside. Good ball forward, but he was a couple of yards offside. Good decision from the official.
Well, I'm calling it before the official, because where we sit in here, Connor, we're sitting right up halfway up the stand. I'm seeing these decisions before the linesman. Great move.
It's a good position that we commentate from here at Swansea. I mean, this is fairly similar to a lot of the new built stadiums around the country, but there is a nice atmosphere here that they get. Was it 22,000?
22,000. I said earlier on, I still think the council own the ground, and that the Ospreys play here as well. The rugby team here that play in South Wales as well, but I think there is planning, hopefully, to put another 10,000 seats on this stadium. That'll be then 30,000, 32,000, I believe. So.
Well, that would be great. I mean, for a relatively, by Premier League standards, small stadium, this is well known as being a really good atmosphere in the top flight.
I think as well, I think of Swansea when they played at Wembley last season, they took 44,000 fans to Wembley, and they've got 17,000 season ticket holders here. So there's a lot of people that miss out every week at Swansea, you know.
Just shows the almost injustice it was that it took so long for the club to get up into the top flight. Such is the hunger for football here. Now Barkley's done well, getting the ball up to Guzman, lays it ahead of Morales into the penalty area, wide on the right, sends it back into the centre, and Tremble drops down onto the ball. It needed to be pulled back more from an Everton point of view to pick out a teammate, but that was one number 20 dispossessing the other. Ross Barkley onto Guzman, and he played the pass into Morales, but the goal continues to elude us here on 5 Live. 0-0. This is Pinar, 10 yards inside his own half. Everton playing right to left as we look down. Gives it to Brian Oviedo. Such energy to get up and down that left flank. Back to Pinar again. Lovely first touch into Gareth Barry. Helped now onto James McCarthy, who's just back from suspension. Remember, Leon Osman on the bench for Everton today. Sure, he'll be needed for the tricky run of fixtures coming up. Listeners to World Service joining us once again here from around the world at the Liberty Stadium, where it's still 0-0, but a really good game. Morales up to Lukaku. Oh, they allowed him turn. Chico Flores bravely blocks it. Barry lunges in. Everton have regained possession. Now McCarthy puts his head down, surges forward, picks out Oviedo on the left. This needs to be a good cross. Arriving at the back post is Coleman, and he's well defended by Routledge. Some Everton fans thinking that the ball has stayed in play. Both players had started to run away, expecting that to have gone out of play. There must have been some backspin on the ball. It stayed in play. Swansea clear. Everton in possession back. Everton enjoying a good spell of possession at the moment. This is Ross Barkley. In field to Barry. Back to Barkley. I think Ross Barkley looks taller with the new haircut. Morales out to Coleman. Good passing from Everton, but they need something more penetrative now. Something to get the ball forward. Coleman short to Barkley. The back heel to Pinar. Looks up for the shot. And it's wide of the target and wide of the left-hand side. When he gives a shrug, he says, look, it was worth having a go. One or two of his teammates wanted it to pass.
Well, Swansea there, they had, 8 or 9 men behind the ball. If you could picture the scene, Everton are just passing it around at will. Nobody's really put them under pressure. Nobody's actually making a run in behind for Everton. So Pinar gets the ball 25, 30 yards out, and he thinks, well, why not? I'll have a pop here. And in the end, the shot comes to nothing.
Swansea City 0, Everton 0. These clubs very much a mirror image of each other at the moment in terms of playing style. And for the moment cancelling each other out. Just Pinar plays it towards Lukaku. Won't get a touch. Barkley tries to control. Kanyas climbing all over him. Barkley shuffled off the ball. Tries to sprint to win it back. Then a little drag back from Routledge. Play on to the referee. Lee Mason's done well today to allow this game to flow. Kanyas, what a performance. He's immense. He wins it once again. Having dispossessed Barkley, and then he wins it once again. That's one off McCarthy. Shelby plays it forward for Swansea. Now Routledge. There's only 2 back for Everton. Routledge tries to flick it into field. Gareth Barry arriving back like a train, makes the interception, and his work rate rewarded as Everton clear the ball away. They give it long. John Hodgson reckons that would have been offside. It's not completed the pass, so there's no need for the referees to hold it up. This is to Guzman, changes direction to Shelby, hugging the touchline on the left. Swansea all in white. Infield to Pablo Hernandez. Back out to Ben Davis now on the left-hand side. That's a nice 1-2. Not the best cross the second time from Davis, but it's picked up by Pablo Hernandez. Everton need to get it away here. Hernandez into the penalty area, produces a cross, bounces on the edge of the 6-yard box. Hearts in mouths, but eventually Tim Howard wins the ball.
Brilliant play from Hernandez. Again, Swansea not getting enough bodies in the box.
Here we go. Pinar, Barkley, oh, he's fallen over. He lost his footing in the penalty area, and he slices the pass. The back pass really to the goalkeeper. What a chance. Without doubt, the best of the game. And Ross Barkley falls over as he strikes the ball.
Yeah, Everton break. It's Pinar slots it through to Barkley. A wonderful weighted pass into his feet. And Barkley, one-on-one with the goalkeeper from an angle, just totally fluffs his feet up. Totally fluffs it up. The ball gets under his feet. He falls over. and in the end it comes to nothing. We've seen it here. Great weighted pass from Pienaar, and it just gets under his feet. He falls over and makes a total hash of it. A great chance, best chance of the game.
What a chance, what a pass from Pienaar. Everton should be in front. It's still 0-0 on 5 Live in the World Service. Ben Davis allows the ball run through his legs, turns to find Jagielka and anticipated that move. So Everton clear it to Morales. Infield to Barkley. Excellent return pass from Barkley. Now Morales is away. He's got Lukaku one-on-one in the centre. Morales looks up, sends in the low cross. Chico Flores was the one defender marking Lukaku, and he makes the all-important interception. It's a brilliant second half, this. Barkley with possession, out to Seamus Coleman on the far side. Now to Gareth Barry. Everton's turn to come forward. Lukaku is caught in possession. Flores to Pablo Hernandez. Another counter-attack is on here, but he scooped it too high. And Jagielka wins it back. And Distan can get things under control and finally calm things down a little bit. 0-0, but a cracker here on 5 Live. This is Barry into Barkley. Oh, he showed too much of that to Rowling. So he's not. Coleman gets there. Little nutmeg. Coleman into the penalty area. And still, Seamus Coleman tries to beat the last defender. And it's been put out for a corner. What a goal that would have been from Coleman. But he took it on one touch too many.
What a game this is, by the way. It's totally end-to-end stuff. Seamus Coleman there comes running forward from his own area. Beats one. Beats... I think it's Flores on the edge of the box, and Williams just comes across and gives a corner away. Corner to Everton.
Well, wherever you're listening to this game of the 05 Live, I hope the sense of atmosphere is being portrayed, because this is hammer and tongs stuff. Brilliant skill on display from both sides. Nothing between them. You'd be such a brave man to pick a winner in this game. As Oviedo retreats to the halfway line and rolls the ball back to Howard. Look at Swansea, they're urging the players to get out here.
Everton have just taken control of this game in the last 5 minutes. They've had 2 or 3 chances. Coleman's run, Barkley's chance. They've still got the ball, and Swansea just need to have a spell in possession. They need to keep the ball, slow the game down, and just have a little breather and have a spell. That's what they need. The goalkeeper's got it now. Just slow it down for me. Slow it down. Let people settle, because Everton are taking control of this game right now.
Well, that little spell that Everton have had, the person Martinez will be disappointed they didn't score. Michael Lautrup will be very pleased his defence stood up. Now, to be fair, Barkley was the best chance, but it's been a big test the last 5 minutes for the Swansea defence. It's still 0-0. Here comes Pienaar. Lays the ball off to Barkley. Pablo Hernandez got it off him. Barkley has fouled him. Free kick to Swansea.
Yeah, Barkley there, just trying to be a little bit too clever. I think Barkley does not have a word in there. He tries to nutmeg a player in the middle of the goal. Sorry, in the middle of the pitch. And it doesn't come off, and then he pulls him down, gives a free kick away, which gives Swansea a breather.
Which is what John Hartson was prescribing that they needed just at the moment. So let's see how they deal with it. Chico Flores rolls the ball short to the Guzman, now over to Ashley Williams. This is what you were suggesting they needed to do.
Yeah,
let's get a time.
Slow the game down and just play it at your own pace.
So it's
again, they give possession away. Flores gives it away cheaply.
But Morales can't do anything with the ball for Everton. This is Ben Davis winning it back for Swansea. Flores to Tiadelli, back to the goalkeeper. Treble, not the best first touch, but he hacks the ball away in the air. Swansea going to lose it here. Lukaku inside the Swansea half. Turns back to Jagielka. Everton are playing with their heads up at the moment, looking for the passes. McCarthy to Barkley. That's a brilliant touch. Pienaar now attacking the dealing area. The Guzman surely fouled it. Play on, says the referee. What a touch from Ross Barkley. They'll be featuring that on Match of the Day tomorrow night, you can be sure. This is Cadas back to Ben Davis. The rain is just plummeting down, but it's a really loud and vociferous atmosphere inside the Liberty Stadium. Who's going to blink first? 0-0. Swansea and Everton. Here comes Swansea. Bodie, you haven't had a touch in the past few minutes. Shelby outside him, just outside the penalty area. Shelby gets a chance to look up. Delivery was a bit low, and it's headed away by Gareth Barry, and it's a throw into Swansea inside the Everton half. 0-0. John Hart.
I think Shelby's got to do better there for me. He's right out onto the touchline, and he just tries to swerve his body and cross the ball in. There's two people in the box. I just think Swansea are better than that. You've got to come back out and go again, rather than just hit a hopeful cross into the box with 2 players in there against 6 or 7 of Everton's. And I just think Everton today, this second half in particular, are just playing Swansea at their own game, aren't they? They're keeping the ball a little bit better. They're sharper with their passing. Swansea giving it away a little bit, and we just need to get back into this game, because Everton, as I said earlier on this type of form right now in the game, they're just taking over a little bit, aren't they?
That's the voice of John Hartson watching this game with us here on 5 Live. Former Wales International, Celtic, Arsenal, West Ham, Coventry, Wimbledon. Who else am I forgetting?
Get the super dodge in there, whatever you do.
This is Lukaku, and a Swansea boy at heart. This is Barry now for Everton. To the right-hand side, to Barkley, back into Barry. Everton comfortable in possession. Distan comes over the halfway line with long strides to Oviedo on the near touchline. Infield to Pinar. Well closed down by de Guzman. This is Ross Barkley, midway inside the Swansea half. Low to the feet of Lukaku on the edge of the box. Tries to play in Coleman down the right-hand side. Lovely pass from Lukaku. Puts the defender under pressure. Routledge puts it out for an Everton corner on the right-hand side. We've still got half an hour to play here, and it's 0-0.
Yeah, another corner for Everton. Lukaku does well. You can see Everton, the big boys have come up. Jagielka, Distan, Lukaku. Swansea need to be strong.
Morales takes it. Too high for Lukaku. Barry was closest to it. Swansea clearing out of the box. Oviedo shoots. Comes off the defender. Ricochets to safety from a Swansea point of view. Now, this is a chance for James McCarthy to play it back into a busy penalty area. Distan is still up there from the corner. He gets an important touch. Gareth Barry just too high over the crossbar. He was swivelling and striking at the same time, and it's just over the crossbar. It's still 0-0.
I think Gareth Barry nearly got a nosebleed there. He was that far up the pitch. But Distan wins the header. Barry tries to swivel. Makes good contact on the ball, but just couldn't quite keep it down. Goes over Tendelli's left shoulder and over the bar. That's good pressure from Everton. Swansea, as I've said earlier on, need to get it down and have a little spell here. Maybe a substitution. You can see the likes of who's warming up. I think it's Pozuelo is out there. There's one or two others. Maybe a change here for Swansea.
Now a chance. Fernandez is offside though. Strikes it wide anyway. Amongst substitutes available on the bench here, they've got Pozuelo, they've got Vasquez,
Lamar,
Leon Britton would be available as a more midfield option. But at the moment, 0-0. And Swansea I still think are capable of catching Everton on the break here as Martinez's team increasingly goes forward and creates chances. This is Jagielka, right-footed, long, looking for Lukaku. It's been a really good battle between Lukaku and both Ashley Williams and Chico Flores, and it's taken the two of them to keep him under wraps. This is Shelby on the halfway line to Routledge. He's had a good game actually. Boney, now little return pass. Routledge is after it. It's too far ahead of him. Tim Howard comes right out to the very edge of his penalty area to pick it up. Nearly. They're still knocking on the door, Swansea. Here comes Barkley. What about that? Little nutmeg. Under Guzman. Ross Barkley. Now to the edge of the tee. Sets it all to the crossbar. Brilliant from Ross Barkley. It's saved onto the crossbar by Dura Tremel. That was magical from the English youngster. And nutmeg near the halfway line. A powerful run. He beat the defender on the tee.
Brilliant run.
And he rocketed the shot.
Brilliant run. He takes it onto his left foot. Smashes a shot from 25 yards. Tremel just touches it, gets the faintest touch onto the crossbar. Everton corner.
And Lukaku tries to control the penalty area. Distan prods it forward, and then a real give it welly of a clearance to get it away from Hernandez.
What a run from Ross Barkley. We never saw that in the first half. I think he's been allowed a little bit more room in the second half. Full of energy and a wonderful strike on it with his left foot. A brilliant save from Tremel, I have to say. That was 1-0 written all over it there.
Yeah, it was back across the goalkeeper's body, but he did ever so well to touch it onto the crossbar. Here's Coleman for Everton.
Oh,
yes!
It was coming. I have to say it was coming.
From outside the penalty area, Seamus Coleman has nearly burst the net. He kicks the advertising hoarding in celebration. That was a blistering strike. Everton will say it was coming. 65 minutes on the clock. Seamus Coleman with an absolute screamer. Swansea 0, Everton 1.
Well, you won't see a better strike than this all season. McCarthy gets it wide to Coleman. He's 35 yards out, 25 yards on an angle, smashes it into Tremmell's near post, halfway up the goal, right inside the post. Goalkeeper no chance. It was come in. I have to say, Swansea look very tired. The reason why they're tired is they can't get the ball back. You do less work when you're in possession and you keep it like Everton are. Swansea, the second half, I've spent all the second half chasing after the ball. They just brought Lamar on for Hernandez, I think it is. It just made a substitute Swansea.
Yes, Roland Lamas come on, the Spaniard. And what about that? Seamus Coleman, who scored last weekend against Fulham, has just drilled in a pile driver. I mean, it actually reminded me of a goal many years ago. Another Irish right back, Stephen Carr, for Tottenham against Manchester United, I think it was, and he drilled one in from the edge of the penalty area. It was similar to that. What a finish! Absolutely brilliant. It's Routledge who's got off for Lamar to come on for Swansea, and they are up against it now because Everton, after such an even game for the opening 50-55 minutes, Everton just began to boss things in the last 10 minutes and they've been rewarded.
Yeah, well, Everton really, I thought they had the better of the first half. Swansea have not created a lot, but they've had decent spells.
Here's Hernandez, down the right hand side, comes off the arm of Oviedo, play out to the referee, now the cross towards the back post, arriving is Davis, brilliant defending to get it away by Morales for Everton. Everton not fully clear though, it's back into the box, but it's going to harmlessly go out for the goal kick. Sorry, Tom.
Well, for me, it's just a case of Everton were the better side in the first half, I thought, but the way that they've just been able to raise it, that's what good teams do. They go from being average, being quiet, and they've just stepped up a couple of gears here. Barkley's got into the game a bit more. Pienaar's passing has been excellent, and they've come very, very close. Just Swansea there, it hits. I think it hits Morales' arm. I'm not too sure whether he can do anything about that. He's about 2 or 3 yards away from Hernandez. He tries to cross it, hits Morales on the arm. I'm not too sure if Morales could have got out of the way, so it'd have been a bit harsh to give a penalty there.
Yeah, it looked questionable because the arm is outstretched, but I don't think he stretched it out to try and potentially handle the ball.
I think the fact that he's so close to him as well.
Yes, you're not going to get out of the way.
He's got a couple of yards. It's very difficult there to give them.
Sure. 1-0 to Everton. We've still got a quarter of this game to go. It's been a humdinger so far. Here's Pablo Hernandez into the penalty area. Tries a little nutmeg at Oviedo. Pienaar gets it off him. What a season Everton are having. Lukaku onto Ross Barkley. He's been a huge part of the transformation to put Everton in front here. And great vision now to spot Coleman. Everton fans urging him to shoot from about 40 yards out. He stepped into the penalty area. A couple of more step overs. Keys it up for Gareth Barry. And he shoots into the arms of the goalkeeper. It's not as powerful as Seamus Coleman's shot for the goal. Just didn't sit up for him, did it? Gareth Barry. It's still Swansea 0, Everton 1.
No, well, Coleman, the Everton fans were shouting to Coleman to shoot again, but he comes back inside, plays it square to Gareth Barry. Bobbles up slightly, couldn't quite get it under his feet, takes a little deflection, but Tremmell covers it easy.
Well, 4 goals now that Seamus Coleman has scored this season, and he's really establishing himself. I mean, he's obviously had Tony Hibbert to contend with, still Neville for a long time for that right full-back position. It's his now. And not only is he defending well, but scoring goals as well, and he's put Everton in front here. Here's a chance for the substitute, Lama, who's come on for Swansea. Comes back to him in the penalty area. Coleman's got on his defensive hat on here. Now Davis looks across from the left. Diendali the right across. Oh, it's the equaliser! What a goal! Diendali, the Dutch defender, lifts the roof off the Liberty Stadium. Swansea City won, Everton won. It's a game that's promised to give us goals, and they finally started rolling in. Less than 5 minutes after Seamus Coleman's opener. Diendali fitted it 1-1.
Nothing. Ben Davis, a flighted ball to the back post. Diendali comes in, physically more aggressive than Pienaar, wants it a little bit more. Diendali gets a volley, deflection, terrible deflection. Who cares if you're a Swansea City fan today? 22,000 Swansea fans here. 1-1, Diendali, a little bit lucky, but he's in there. He's in where it counts, in that 6-yard box.
What an atmosphere in here. The rain is pelting down cats and dogs. Swansea City fans on their feet, punching the air, believing that they deserve to be still in this game, believing that it was unfortunate they went behind to that Seamus Coleman goal, and it wasn't a pretty one, but Delhi's desire to get to that goal, to wallop it in off the body of Oviedo, and it's 1-1 and it's game on again, and what a game.
What a game, a free kick here, a chance for people to take their breath. But you said it, Connor, where you have to be as a full-back, you know, in that opposition box. One full-back, it just goes to show. Ben Davies on the left side, gets across in. Ian Darley on the right side here for Swansea. He's up in the 6-yard box. That's commitment. That's what you have to do to get yourself back in the game. Tries a little bit of luck with the deflection. Now it's 1-1 and it could go either way. Everton have been bossing it. But that'll give Swansea a huge lift getting back in the game.
Swansea have the wind in their sails. This is Shelby, edge of the penalty area left-hand side. Kicks in a low cross, deflected away. Barkley helps it on to Lukaku. That was on a handball. He did well actually to shrug off Chico Flores there, Lukaku. He was hoping the ball would fall into his path. As it was whipped away by the goal scorer, Ian Delhi. The noise is phenomenal in here at the moment. I do hope that atmosphere is being conveyed. If you're listening to us in the car, if you're sitting at home, this is a great advert for Premier League football. Two teams playing wonderful football to watch, scoring the goals as well. And after Everton's really good spell, it's back to even Steven, and you'd be brave to pick the winner once again. This is Jagielka at the back for Everton. Puts his studs to the ball, looks up for a few options. Shelby happy for him to have it in that position. This is Barry. Now, Ross Barkley. All being put under pressure by Hernandez, who nearly got it. But as it is, Distan comes over the halfway line with possession for Everton. He's spiked it in front of Pinar. It's the right idea. It was just too far ahead of him, and that goes out harmlessly for a goal kick of Swansea.
Especially with all this rain we've had, I think anything over the top today is just going to run off with the zip and the dew on the grass. And Distan there, not particularly known for his passing. Tries to put Pinar in, but it just goes out for the goal kick. Again, Connor, what a game we have here today. You know, 1-1. The football has been magnificent from both sides, and Everton were bossing it there for me for a while. 10-15 minutes, you know, Everton looked as if they were going to go on and win it. They get a great goal, and now Swansea with the equaliser. As you say, it could go either way right now.
Yeah, there were 4 minutes between the goals. Coleman's went in the 66th minute, Ian Delhi in the 70th. As Distan heads the ball clear for Everton, all in blue, playing right to left. Morales knows that'll be an Everton throw, so he allows it to go out of play. Morales takes the throw himself, back to Jagielka. Now this is Sylvain Distan. Gareth Barry operating in a left full-back position at the moment, because Oviedo's gone up further up the field. This is Pinar, veering inside. Barkley, so confident, gives a back heel to Pinar, and nutmeg on Lama to bring Coleman into things on the right-hand side. Here's the cross into the central area, but headed away by Ashley Williams. And now Jagielka with a flying volley, and it's a way off target, a centre-half volley, and probably 10 yards wide in the end.
Very, very ambitious, I have to say there, from Phil Jagielka, who hasn't put a foot wrong. I have to say, him and Distan have been strong, defended well, headed it when they needed to head it, cleared it when they needed to clear it, and Jagielka that wins it on the halfway line, takes it forward and tries a half volley from 35 yards. Ricky thought he was Beckenbauer there for a minute.
Well, he'd love to shine at the World Cup in the summer, wouldn't he, Phil?
He's been excellent. I have to say he's been excellent. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, he must be a favourite to start for Roy Hodgson in June. Now this is John Joe Shelby. Puts his studs to the ball, nice change of direction, gets away from Barry, gets it back again from Lama, and then a shot over the crossbar. But again, lovely fluid thinking from Swansea. They're creating chances that other teams wouldn't even think of.
Yeah, and Shelby there shows great confidence, seems to try and have a go there. He's 25 yards out, plays a 1-2 with Lamar, really sharp passing on the floor, comes back to him, tries to hit it first time. Swansea saying that Shelby's just going off. No, he's not. He's coming over for a drink.
Yeah, confusion. Judge Shelby ran over to the touchline as the substitution was being made, but that's just to get some refreshment. Alvaro Vasquez will come on in place of Wilfred Boney. So they've got Lama up there, and they've now got Vasquez. So 2 Spanish forwards. Vasquez has yet to score in the Premier League. This is his 8th appearance. But they might as well go for it. Now, Boney's put in some hard work today. not always been rewarded, but it's made a big impact, and it's sort of battered down those Everton central defenders to create space for others.
Well, yeah, a difficult role to play, you know, that lone striker's role. It's a good place to be when you're getting support and when you're getting crosses coming in and opportunities, but when you're up there and your team's under pressure, you know, your work rate has to be very good. You've got to concentrate on your defensive duties as well as trying to get in the end of crosses. And Wilfred Boney has worked hard today. He's been out for 4 to 5 weeks. He came on last week and 20-30 minutes and he's been good for an hour today, so he's worked very, very hard without really having many chances at all in the game.
14 minutes to go. Swansea City 1, Everton 1. Just a contrary thought, which I'll ask you about in a moment, John Hartson, but let's watch Pablo Hernandez here, attacking the edge of the penalty area, runs into Gareth Barry. Everton get it away. We're speaking, as we've got an injury break now anyway for Pienaar, so good time to talk some nonsense. We're speaking about Oviedo and how well he's filled in for Leighton Baines, and almost difficult to leave him out now. Yeah. Does that, therefore, make it maybe more appetising for Everton to consider selling him to David Moyes at Manchester United in January? Baines. Is Baines now not as important? I mean, obviously a great player, but they've got such a ready-made replacement. Would it be easier to consider selling?
I don't think Roberto Martinez would think like that. I've got to be honest with you. I think he sees Leighton Baines as a big part of the project at Everton. He needs world-class players, and that, for me, Leighton Baines comes into that category. Oviedo's a magnificent prospect, a great replacement when Baines is injured. But for me, it's Baines all day long, and I'm not quite sure whether Oviedo is of the quality. And if Roberto Martinez wants to take Everton into the top 4, you have to have players like Baines. Yeah. Why sell him to a big rival now? Manchester United are not rivals for the title, especially this season. They're rivals for the top 4. So it wouldn't make sense to sell Baines, I don't believe.
Yeah, and you know, such has been Everton's momentum this season. I think, as a club, they don't want to be seen to be selling their best players now. You know, the way things have gone so well. I think if they were languishing mid-table, going nowhere, you think, right, give us 20 million or whatever. But well, Everton with momentum now.
And Everton as well, Conor. Let's not forget, Everton at the end of the season, they finished 5th or 6th. They will show their ambition for me if they can go and buy a Deulofeu, if they can go and secure Lukaku's services, bring Gareth Barry to the club. You know, I suppose they may well have first option on these players, haven't had them for a year on loan. Let's go and show the Everton supporters that we really, really want to challenge, and they've got to build on what they've done this season.
Well, I'm pretty sure Gareth Barry's out of contract with Manchester City in the summer, so that would be financially an easier one, I would imagine. Lukaku and Deulofeu, you're talking King's ransom kind of money to try and prize those, but but they're enjoying having them for the moment, certainly, and well, Barcelona aren't exactly desperate to fill attacking positions. They might be happy for Everton to hold on.
He's some player though. I have to say he is different, really.
And you know, so young, he's only going to get better as well. Very good addition to the Premier League this season. Chico Flores plays the ball for it. It's 1-1 here on 5 Live at the World Service. Shelby, good first touch, tries to attack the penalty area. Jagielka comes across, hammers the ball out of play. Good defending from an Everton point of view. Pienaar, by the way, has got off. He had picked up what looked like a hamstring injury. Stephen Naismith has come on in instead of him. Whenever you see players going off injured around Christmas, a busy schedule of games, that could be a problem now for Martinez. One fewer option to pick from. Swansea goal scorer Tianelli prepares to take the throw in, gives it down to Pablo Hernandez, across to Roland Lama. Now space for Ben Davis at left back. Davis, who played a really big role in creating that goal for the opposite fullback Tianelli. This is Chico Flores near the centre circle. Passes to Pablo Hernandez, onto De Guzman. Good movement this from Swansea. Tianelli gets involved on the right hand side. Back infield to another Spaniard, to Cañas, and then space for the Welshman, Ben Davis on the left-hand side. Short for Shelby once again. Everton just tracking this right to left, back again to the centre. Swansea with the ball in the central third. Chico Flores tries to thread a ball through for Tianelli, who's now out of position at right back. Lukaku's attacking that space, beaten to it by Ashley Williams, and a nicely measured back pass to the goalkeeper Trevor. Look, I mean, what other team plays their way out of trouble the way Swansea does? They do little lobs to each other on the edge of the penalty area here, and they don't make mistakes. They don't get caught out. On any other team loses the ball there.
Well, it helps as well if your manager has confidence in you and this is how he wants you to play. So you know full well if you do make a mistake, the manager will come out afterwards and say, well, hold on, this is how I wanted to play.
1-1 on 5 Live. Danny, what a cross! Headed up into the air by Tistat. Needed to win that because there was players arriving with pace. This is Canas, Shelby on the D, brilliant movement, can't get the ball out from under his feet for a shot though. He ends up lying on the ground, John Joe Shelby, and Everton clear the ball away. Naismith, nice 1-2 with Ross Barkley. Leon Osmond's also come on for Everton, he's on the ball now. This is McCarthy. So many talented footballers in display here, so comfortable on the ball, even in the wet conditions. Oviedo, left-hand side, sends it across, too close to the goalkeeper. Treble gathers the ball. 10 minutes to go, 1-1.
Everton brought on fresh legs. You've got Leon Osmond.
Naismith as well.
Naismith, a player I know from...
Here's a chance though, and attacking forward is Vasquez. Oh, he's tried to chip the keeper, and all he's done is passed it into his stomach. He didn't get under it at all.
It's one of them. It's one of them. If it comes off, it looks a genius. If it doesn't, it looks a bit silly.
I mean, Mike, that would have had to be world class.
He's on an angle. We've seen Cantona do it. We've seen great players do it. He's one-on-one, and he tries a cheeky lob over Tim Howard. For me, I'm saying, put your foot through that ball, hit the target, slippery surface, anything could happen.
In the end, it didn't go higher than stomach height, and he's made to look a little bit foolish. Vasquez. Here comes Swansea again. They've enjoyed good territory in the last 10 minutes. Shelby, well tackled by Gareth Barry for Everton. This is Naismith, right of centre. Can't get it away from Canas. Picked up by McCarthy. What a strong run. Three in his way. Oh, he's fouled on the edge of the box. Free kick. Could be a card coming now as well. What a strong run from James McCarthy, and eventually taken down by Ben Davis, and the defender had no choice. He had to take him down before he got the ball.
Yeah, he had to take him down. Again, a good foul if you like. McCarthy, you didn't realise he was that quick. Takes it up. Pace, power, strength, just drives forward like a Vieira type player there. Davis comes across, cynical, takes him out, and deservedly gets a yellow card for it.
Did you see that Keane Vieira documentary?
I did, yes.
I loved about that was when Roy Keane was saying to Vieira about that famous Ryan Giggs goal in the semi-final. Why didn't someone just take him down? Why didn't you just foul him? It's exactly what Ben Davis did. You're not going to score a Ryan Giggs glory goal.
I was lucky, Connor, because I think I'm one of the few players that played with both and played against both. But two fantastic players, and you miss that now, didn't you? That rivalry, that battle between two strong midfield players. There's plenty of them around. I'm sure we could think of players that do have good battles now. But back in the day, they were both powerhouses, weren't they?
Absolutely. And just the intimidation Roy Keane would give to opponents, and Vieira too. Not too many can instill that kind of fear these days. Free kick for Everton. Barkley! Ross Barkley slides at his knees in celebration, and Everton might well be going up into the top four tonight. What a free kick from a very, very special young English player. He only turned 20 earlier this month. Ross Barkley, you are something special. What a free kick. Swansea 1, Everton 2.
Well, the last player who did something like this against Arsenal was Wayne Rooney. Whips it in all them years ago. Barkley, 25 yards out, whips it in off the underside of the crossbar. Trembling goal for Swansea, absolutely no chance. What a free kick. Never mind Leighton Baines, leave him on the bench. You don't need him when you got Barkley doing scoring goals like that. Magnificent technique from a young lad. They were brilliant.
6 minutes of normal time to go. Everton back in front. How can Swansea respond? And your heart goes out to Trimble, the goalkeeper, because he's conceded 2 goals here that were just unstoppable. Nobody's saving either of those. First Seamus Coleman, then Ross Barkley, and Everton's powerhouse.
He made a wonderful save from Barkley before Everton got their first goal, didn't he?
And you know as well, Everton will say justice. We said, the professional foul to stop McCarthy. What a great run that was, and that run ultimately rewarded with the goal.
Yeah. We are busy talking about Keane and Vieira at the time.
Down the other end, Swansea have had a corner which the Guzman has swung in, and it's been headed out for a throw on the far side. So a throw in for Swansea.
Oswello, I believe, is coming on here for the Guzman. Last 5 minutes here plus injury time. Swansea need to be all really go for it now, throw everything including the kitchen sink at Everton. They've got nothing to lose. Just as well lose 3-1 and get hit on the break than lose 2-1. Got to be seen to go for it now.
Alejandro Pozuelo, who's come on, yet to score in the Premier League. He has got 2 in the Europa League this season for Michael Laudrup's team, who played some great football today, but as things stand, they're going to come away with this with nothing and continue a record of having never beaten Everton in any competition in their history. This is Pablo Hernandez down the right hand side, rolls it for Tiendelli, not a bad cross, distance Hernandez, what a save, Howard! Palms it out, and that will go, and the line's already flag raised anyway. Now, that presumably was offside, but the ricochet afterwards, the first shot from Hernandez would have counted had Howard not saved it.
Great strike from Hernandez. Ball is moving. These balls they use, all moving all through the air. Smashes it with serious power at Howard. The ball is all over the place. Howard manages to get a block. I thought he could get on it really with his hand. He could never all day long, never held that ball in.
Well, having seen the replay, I don't think Tim Howard could see that ball when it was struck, and it was an instinctive save more than anything from the American goalkeeper. And all the talk about Barkley and how good Lukaku has been, Tim Howard has been outstanding for Everton.
Well, that's a good sign of a good goalkeeper when he's not in the game that often, and he has spells where he's not touching the ball. When he's required to make a top save, he's there. He's there to save his team.
Still over 3 minutes of the 90 to go. Free kick to Everton, who lead 2-1 here on 5 Live and the World Service for the BBC. Arsenal against Chelsea to come tomorrow. If it's as good as this, that'll be a real cracker on 5 Live at 8 p.m. Monday night. Here is Leon Osman for Everton, running with the ball close to his feet down the left-hand side. Oviedo pulls it back for Lukaku, nearly got a second chance to strike. Chico Flores could clear it away for Swansea. This is Jagielka, quick movement to Coleman. Everton relentless, into the penalty area goes Coleman, around Davis, now at the byline. He knew it touched the defender, he knew it would be an Everton corner, so he allowed it to trickle out of play.
Good play from Coleman, from your full back. 3 minutes to go, he's right up in the opposition's penalty box, where other managers would be saying, look, we've got to get back, we've got to get numbers back, let's hold on to a lead. It's Everton taking their time here.
It's a game that's been played in such a good spirit, and for the first time a little bit of professionalism there as Everton sent no one out to take the corner just to waste a bit of time.
You're right though, it has been played in great spirit. 2 very good sides. A shame somebody had to lose today, but I think over the 90 minutes Everton have, especially in the second half, they've turned it around, and they've been the stronger. They've been the more positive going forward. Swansea had to do an awful lot of defending. So looking at it, we're 3 or 4 minutes to go. If it stays like this, I would say Everton have probably edged it. I really do.
90 seconds or thereabouts of the 90 minutes to go. There'll be a bit added on to stoppages. We've had that injury to Pienaar. We've had a few substitutions. Maybe 3 or 4 minutes, something like that. It's been a wonderful game to watch. Always had a good feeling about this game, such as the passing nature of both sides. But even though Everton are in front, it's been so even for long spells.
Well, it has. I think it promised to be a great game, didn't it? 2 footballing sides want to play the game the proper way, on the floor, can mix it up, and it's not disappointed us, has it?
This gets up and wins a header for Everton. Barkley tries to keep it in play, fails to do so. Swansea throw on the halfway line. Is there still time for a grandstand finish here for the home side? Just looking on the ground, 1 or 2 fans beginning to make their way towards the exits, but the greater majority rooted to their seats. This is Chico Flores. Is it to be a Merry Christmas in Swansea? They would love to stay in the top 10 if they could come up with a miracle here late on. This is Chandra Shelby back on the halfway line, passes across to Chico Flores. Now the defender's decided to come forward himself, always giving the ball away to Naismith. Shelby gets it back for Swansea. Now he's attempted a real dramatic 50-60 yard crossfield ball, perfect for Tiendelli, goes for the byline, tackled by Oviedo. Oviedo's been outstanding. Ball goes out for a throw into Swansea, which they take quickly. They must do now, no time to waste. Flores to Pablo Hernandez, crossing position on the right hand side, goes around Barkley must have fouled him. Free kick to Swansea, 10 yards outside the penalty area, wide on the right hand side. 3 minutes to to be added on for stoppages at the end of this pulsating game.
Good position here for Swansea. Shelby is the man who's going to take the free kick. Wide right, like a corner, but 10 yards infield. We know Shelby can whip them in.
Everton fans aren't counting any chickens. Here's Shelby's free kick, whipped in and headed up into the air by Gareth Barry. Comes back out to John Joe Shelby. All his teammates still in the centre. Left foot across this one. Distan is underneath it. Now the strike. Oh, brilliant save! Brilliant save to deny Lamar. Tim Howard dives to the postage stamp corner and fingertips it over the crossbar. Was that the last big chance for Swansea?
Great effort from Lamar. I think it's a save we'd expect Howard to make.
Corner played in by Shelby and cleared away at the front post. It wasn't a good corner. Swansea get it back on the halfway line. Cañas helped on by Flores. Chance for Vasquez, and the ball went through his feet. I'm pretty sure he tried to backheel that and missed it, and the ball goes harmlessly out for a goal kick.
He miskicks it. He totally miskicks this. Chico Flores wins a brilliant header, gets above this stand, gets a 1-2-3. How was the header in? Vasquez holds his line brilliantly. I don't know whether he's worried in case Howard is going to come out and he's going to clatter him, but takes his eye off the ball. He's only got to make contact on the ball. He's 6 yards out. It's a goal.
Any touch at all. And Swansea with two chances in the space of 20 seconds there. First of all, the shot which you reckon was a very easy save.
Well, not easy. I thought it was a save. You said great save. I'm not sure it was a great save. I think it's a save you'd expect your goalkeeper to make. It's a decent height.
Yeah.
But he put it over the crossbar. He wasn't taking any chances, trying to hold it.
The truth is somewhere in between. But two chances for Swansea for sure, and the best of them in the end was from Alvaro Vasquez in the 6-yard box. Anything on it at all. And he used to
chance to make a hero.
Yeah.
Make a hero for himself. Make a big name for himself here in front of the home crowd.
Yeah.
What a chance to get back in.
It's been a really good game. Now Swansea to come away empty-handed. McCarthy wins the tackle on the halfway line. Can Everton see it out safely now? We've played 2 minutes 20 of the 3 minutes to be added on. Barkley goes down, bit softly, clever, winning a free kick, wasting a bit of time, frustrating Swansea. And Barkley then walks away from the ball, and that will frustrate them further. Just trots over as slow as he can. Everton want to play down the clock.
Only one side seems supporters singing now. Everton's 2,000 strong travelling army are in full voice.
It's a great support for Everton actually, so close to Christmas as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lukaku onside.
No, referee's blown.
Referee's blown. Lukaku put it in the back of the net. The linesman kept his flag down. Referee spotted something else. And Everton denied their third goal that really would have sealed.
This is it. I think when this goalkeeper kicks the ball now, Tremble into Swansea's half, I think you might see the ref blowing his whistle here. Yeah.
Whistle to mouth, what a game. Everton's fantastic season continues. Swansea's 83-year wait for their first ever win against the Toffees continues, and what a successful return to his old stomping ground for Roberto Martinez. John Hartson summing up for us.
Well, you have to say Everton's second half pressure, I thought they edged the game. Fantastic, two great goals from Everton, one from Coleman from normal play, the other one from Barkley. What a wonderful free kick this is. You've got to be a special talent to produce something like this. It was absolutely out of the top throw, and the talking point to me today is Ross Barkley. Is he good enough to play for Everton every week and England? Absolutely yes on today's evidence. What a talent this young boy is.
Well, Everton are keeping up with the big boys, keeping pressure on the top four, and this wonderful debut season for Roberto Martinez in his new job continues with a victory against his old club. Seamus Coleman's goal, Ross Barkley's goal. You won't see better this weekend, that's for sure. They were brilliant, Everton were brilliant, and Swansea disappointed to leave empty-handed. It's finished. Swansea City 1, Everton 2.
John Hartson, a lot of people have said about Everton they don't know how to lose. They've only lost once in the Premier League. They've had quite a few draws, but today was one of those games where they just thought, we will win today. We don't settle for a draw.
Yeah, and they were very impressive, Ian, especially in the second half. There wasn't a lot in it in the first half. Neither goalkeeper was tested at all, really. That was really the disappointing thing about the first half, because there was lots of good movement, lots of good defending. In the second half, Everton just went up, not just one gear, I'd say 2 or 3 gears. Ross Barkley started to get a bit more space. McCarthy we saw making powerful, strong runs in. Lukaku was looking lively. Coleman scores a wonderful goal. And the fact that they can go from not being average is the wrong word, just by being playing then, you know, in the comfort zone, if you like, and to be able to step it up and to go forward and to win a game of football, that takes courage. It takes a lot of things really. And I thought over the piece today, Everton deserved their 3 points. They had a job to do, and they certainly came and done it today.
Yeah, we were talking before, weren't we, about the fact that under Martinez, both fullbacks sort of bomb on at the same time, unlike perhaps last season where one went up, the other stayed back. What was it like today?
Pretty much the same, you know. We look at Coleman scored the first goal, you know, he broke the deadlock, if you like. He picked the ball up just inside Swansea's half, he ran forward, and you're thinking, cross it, give it wide. No, he looks up, he sees he's confident enough, he smashes it past Tremel in his near post. And on the other side, Oviedo was great. We've had the discussion today whether Baines will come back, and I don't think they should sell Baines because they're talking about progressing. You know, people like Leighton Baines at the club bringing in star names, and can they attract the names? You know, with Baines at the club, you certainly can, because he's world class. He's going to be the next England full-back over the next 10 years, I'm sure of that, when Ashley Cole decides to hang them up or when Baines takes over. So I don't think they should sell Baines. But Oviedo today, what a player to come in the place of Baines. He's certainly a talent, and I'm sure it's a great option for Roberto to have, having two top-class left-backs to choose from.